Welcome back to episode 4. Over the last 40 weeks, we've been singing 40 songs in 40 different languages, collaborating with people from all across the globe. And for quick context for anybody who's new, my name is Avanti, and I am on a mission to sing 50 songs in 50 different languages in 50 weeks. In an ideal world, I would have loved to speak 100 different languages, but it's not possible in this lifetime. So instead, I thought, what's the closest to be able to sing in those many languages? And as someone who's grown up between two continents and countries, traveled to many different parts of the world, language and culture has always really fascinated me. And as an artist, I think the easiest way to connect with somebody is to be able to show the sense of apnapan, which means belonging, and be able to learn a song in their language, be able to learn a few phrases. It just shows that you've made an effort and that you've cared. And the goal of this project was a deep dive for me to learn about different cultures and languages through the medium of music, but also to meet incredible artists, collaborate with people, and it's been a really, really fun journey. Within the first 30 languages, a majority were Indian languages, including many of the 22 official ones, and some other lesser-known ones like Irula and Kokborok. Weeks 31 to 40 were a lot of global languages, and I ended up collaborating with artists from different parts of the world. So let's take a deep dive into what those were. Language number 31 was Mandarin. Mandarin is spoken by about 1.12 billion people all across the world, and it's the official languages of China, Taiwan, and dialects in Singapore. It's one of the only remaining pictographic languages, which means that the alphabets that you see are not real alphabets. The characters that you see are symbols or parts of the word representing it pictorially as opposed to an alphabet. And it's a tonal language. My collaborator was Katherine, who you may have heard of because she sang the Mandarin version of Yellow in the film Crazy Rich Asians. Did an amazing job with it. And she and I met through Instagram on the internet and actually had a lot of similar interests. She's currently just finished a master's in public health and is a musician as well. And I studied global health in my undergrad at Harvard and also do music, so lots of connections there, and we had an incredible time working on the song. But first, let's talk about the attire. So we were both wearing a dress called a qipao, and different cultures have different versions of what is appropriate and not. So a few weeks ago, I collaborated with a Jamaican artist, and we decided it would be appropriate to wear a dress that was crocheted because that was paying homage without being in your face about what the culture was, and she felt that that would be most respectful. Whereas I was actually wearing Catherine's mom's wedding dress during this collaboration because she felt that that would be more respectful of Chinese and Mandarin culture. So it's very interesting to see, the unique differences across cultures. And learning the song was not as difficult as I thought it would be initially. So what I tend to do when I learn a new song and the phrases in it is I transliterate it into Hindi and then my own phrase. The song we chose for this was The Moon Represents My Heart, which was popularized by Teresa Teng. Fun fact, the composer of the song, Wang, actually went to Berklee College of Music, which is also an alma mater, so felt an extra connection. It was beautifully composed. Interestingly, Teresa's Taiwanese, so when the song came out, it was the first foreign song to become popularized in mainland China. We collaborated on this song in LA and California, and without further ado, here you go.
你问我爱你有多深，我爱你有几分？我的情也真，我的爱也真，月亮代表我的心，轻轻的一个吻。已经打动我的心，深深的一段情，结尾随年的如前。
Language number 32 was Greek. Greek is spoken by 13 million people and is an official language of Greece and Cyprus. It's the oldest recorded living language. What does this mean? So it's not the oldest language, but it's the oldest living, meaning current language today, that was recorded. I think some of the earliest records of Greek being recorded somewhere were from 3,500 years ago. And interestingly, the word alphabet comes from the first two letters of the Greek alphabet, alpha and beta alphabet. My collaborator for this song was Marni. We also met on the internet, and oh my god, Kara's energy is just off the charts. She's incredible. Had such a fun time with her. We recorded this in London. Learning Greek, I guess because it's, learning how to say the words in Greek were interesting because there were a lot of familiar sounds, but then there was a lot of back of the throat used. So like, ha, ha. So like there was a line, Ena monacha thausupo, the Ena monacha. So instead of that's a really light one, it had to be Ena monacha thausupo. It's not monaha, it's monacha. Monacha thausupo. So that was an interesting, like having to use different parts of the mouth. And the song we chose was this popular song called Girismata, and had an absolute blast recording it. And also learning a little bit of the language, so here you go.
Ένα μονάχα θα σου πω. Έχει ο καιρός γυρίσματα, δυο όψεις έχουν όλα τα νομίσματα. Δεν θα είμαι εγώ, θα είναι η ζωή που θα αγγίξει την καρδιά σου σαν γυαλί. Έτσι ακριβώς όπως μου το κάνεις κι εσύ.
Language number 33 was Tagalog. It's a language spoken by 83 million speakers, including non-native speakers, and is the official language of the Philippines. It has a lot of borrowed loan words from Spanish and a lot of Spanish and American influences, just given the colonization history of that region. And the language itself, Taga Ilog, means from the river. So my first ever international concert was in 2018, I think. And it was in the Philippines, in Makati, in Manila. And I learned this song called Ikaw by Yang Constantino, who is an incredible singer. And Ikaw means you. It was actually her wedding song, which I thought was so beautiful. I was performing a concert there, going to be singing some English songs, some of my originals. And I figured, okay, let me go learn a song in Tagalog before going. And again, the second I started singing the song in Tagalog, just the audience changed, the energy changed. And it just showed me the power of music as a universal language, but also as making somebody feel like they belong and at home. And funny enough, after that concert, I ended up singing on this show called Banana Sunday, which I guess is like the Filipino version of the Kapil Sharma show. And then everywhere I'd go, in restaurants, otherwise, I randomly got pulled up to sing with a band. I was just singing this song, and it's such a beautiful song, holds a lot of meaning. My collaborator was this artist named AJ Raphael, who is one of the OG YouTubers back when YouTube started, and incredible artist. He and I met a few years ago at an HBO event in LA. It was like celebrating Asian American Pacific Islander heritage, so AAPI, and immediately hit it off. And then we reconnected last year at VidCon, which is a YouTubers collective event, and decided to collaborate this year. So had an amazing time. In fact, we were not wearing traditional outfits, but the hoodies we were wearing were from AJ's brand, so you should go check it out. It's like Filipino-inspired American wear. Funny enough, there is a word, Hindi, in Tagalog, which means no. AJ tried to explain it to me.
Hindi.
You have the word Hindi here. What is
it? Hindi. It means no.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Hindi.
Hindi.
Hindi. Yeah. Hindi means no, which is funny.
Yeah.
Your language
is no. I think at this point, my brain knows many different sounds. It's just trying to, sometimes when somebody says, oh, how do you say a word in XYZ language? I go through this directory in my head and kind of have to brain recall sound, bring it in, which is a fun experience. I think it's been fun and intellectually challenging this past year. But without further ado, here is Ikaw in Tagalog.
Sa pagpatak ng bawat oras ay ikaw ang iniisip-isip ko.
Hindi ko mahiinto pag-ibig na hinintay.
Puso ay nalambay ng kahit tagal.
Ngunit ngayon'y nandito na ikaw.
At hindi pa
Ko umibig ng ganito at
nasa isip
magkasama ka habang buhay.
Language number 34 was Spanish. Spanish is spoken by around 600 million people, and it's constantly competing with Hindi for the third most spoken language in the world. It's spoken in the North Americas and in Spain, so spanning across 3 different continents, and is the official language in over 20 countries and several island areas. Because I spent my early childhood in the US, I grew up hearing a lot of Spanish, and you can kind of definitely make some correlations between ways in which things are pronounced with a language like Hindi, which I also grew up with. It was really, really fun to do this song. I collaborated with this artist named Pame, who goes by ladominiqueen. She's from the DR, the Dominican Republic. And we filmed and recorded this in New York City. The song is called Ojalá que llueva café, which just means, I wish it was raining coffee. And as I understand, this song was quite popular with folks working in the agricultural space, on farms, and doing agricultural labor, just talking about how they wished it rained coffee and yucca roots and all of these beautiful things, and just talking a little bit about the beauty of the DR. If it had to rain a drink, what drink would you want it to rain? Mine would definitely not be coffee. But let me know what yours, I think mine would just be water, which is, I know, boring. So what would yours be? Let me know in the comments. And enjoy the song.
Ojalá que llueva café en el campo, que caiga un aguacero de yuca y té, del cielo una harina de queso blanco, de azul una montaña de berro y miel. Oh, 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 ojalá que llueva café, pa' que el enconuco no se sufra tanto, pa' que Villabases oigan este canto. Ojalá que llueva café en el campo, ojalá que llueva, ojalá que llueva, hombre, ojalá que llueva café en el campo, ojalá que llueva café.
Number 35 is Hawaiian. Hawaiian is a Polynesian language which technically has about 300,000 speakers, but native speakers are less than 10,000, and it's starting to die out. It is, of course, spoken in Hawaii and many other Polynesian regions, and Hawaii is the only American state that has more than one, so it has 2 official languages, being Hawaiian and English. Fun fact, surfing was invented in Hawaii, and I have been a fan of Hawaiian culture since I was very young. I watched this TV show, or this movie rather, called Lilo and Stitch when I was little. I think my 5th birthday party was Lilo and Stitch Hawaiian themed. I visited once with my family, but unfortunately fell really sick during that trip, so couldn't go anywhere. But one of my ex's families was from Hawaii, and so got to visit a couple times, and it's just incredibly beautiful. Culture is just so, it felt very similar to South Asian culture or Indian culture, where it had the capacity to care about family and interdependence and ohana, which means family. You may know that if you watch Lilo and Stitch too. But I think it's fascinating because there's so many, it has, Polynesian culture is influenced by Samoan, Hawaiian, many other islander cultures, and it's just a very unique culture of its own. If you've not heard much about it, definitely go check out the music and the food and the culture. It's incredible. My collaborator for this was Kyana, who is amazing. Really, really enjoyed her. We met, I think we both performed at a friend's house concert in New York a few years ago. And so we filmed and recorded this in New York and had an incredible time. She has both Hawaiian, Samoan, and I guess European ancestry. So I think it was fun for her to also do this as a way to reconnect with those roots. We did this song called Eomai, which just talks about the beauty of the islands and is really, really fun to do. Here's the Hawaiian song.
Kahuai kawai vai olohia
O kahualoa
kohi ikawai puia eku aloha eomai. E inui kawai akina e ku aloha e omai.
Number 36 was Haitian Creole. Haitian Creole is spoken by about 10 to 12 million people in the US, Haiti, of course, and a few other places, such as Trinidad and Tobago, the Bahamas, French Guyana, and many other islands. It's a French-based Creole language, so it has French influence and a lot of African, particularly West African influence. The language doesn't have a Q or an X, and to represent plurals, you just add a yo at the end of every word. My collaborator for this was Zama. Zama and I met many, many years ago when I was still in college, and there was a talent agency that I was being managed by in Boston. Yeah, we met through that and have stayed friends ever since. So we shot and recorded this in Boston and had a beautiful time. The song we chose was Aitise, which is by this artist named Mika Ben, who unfortunately passed away a couple years ago. Our version received a lot of appreciation in Haiti. So it was on Haitian television and radio and news, and I got invited to be on a Haitian radio show. So fascinating. It was very, very interesting, and I appreciated learning a lot about it, especially given the history and the current tumult in the region. Here is the song, which talks about the beauty of Haiti.
Haïti, c'est belle la mer, c'est belle montagne ak belle rivière, c'est belle plage ak pied cocoyer, belle paysage ak belle couleur. Haïti, c'est son café k'ap monte nan nem le matin, c'est son là où c'est que fait poser, pour fleur disait k'a bourgeonner. Haïti, chérie, bouchon moi remè, moi vin déposer ticket moi nan main. Haïti, chérie, bouchon m'adorer, pas rien j'en fais moi quitter. M'a toujours la pour chérie, qui te musique sa dolote, m'pap j'en quitte.
Number 37 is Italian. Italian is spoken by 85 million people, of course in Italy, San Marino, Vatican City, and parts of Switzerland. And its alphabet has only 21 letters. The song we chose was Bella Ciao. Some of you may know it from the web series Money Heist, but it was actually first created in northern Italy as a way to oppose the harsh working conditions, and then it became the anthem of the Italian resistance movement against fascism and German occupation. My collaborator was Augie Bello. Augie and I again met through friends a few years ago. He's a saxophonist, producer, and artist, incredible artist and musician, and we just had such a fun time doing the song. Unfortunately, Augie's grandfather passed away a couple days before we recorded this, so I think it added even more meaning to him to sing it in memory of his grandpa as well. We did a fun mixed singing and sax cover for this, and without further ado, I hope you enjoy it.
Una mattina
mi sono alzato. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato
e ho trovato l'invasor. Oh partigiano, portami via. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morir.
Number 38 was Kashmiri. Kashmiri is spoken by about 6.8 million people in the region of Jammu and Kashmir, and it's one of the oldest Indo-Aryan languages spoken in the Indian subcontinent. It has a lot of influences from Persia, the Arab world, and so many other spaces. but sounds very unique on its own. I actually visited Kashmir for the first time in August, and absolutely beautiful place. The people are so warm, hospitable, incredible, and of course, a lot of tumult in the region, but it seems like there has been a lot of opportunity over the last few years. It seems like there's a lot more women who are empowered, and my hope is, at least through tourism and at least through other forms of economic stimulation, the local economy can grow, because people are incredibly talented and you feel like you're just transported to another world when you're in Kashmir. My collaborator for this was Abha Hanjura. Abha is a Kashmiri Pandit. She lives in Bangalore, a very popular singer from the region. We filmed this in Bangalore, and we wore traditional clothing. Learning Kashmiri was very interesting. Words did not mean what I thought they would mean. And the song we chose to do was Hukkus Pukkus, which Abha has sung and popularized before. Her version was in a couple popular films. It's basically a children's poem, which she added a little bit of a nuance to. And we did a reinterpreted version of it and had such an amazing time, truly. Honestly, I know I've been saying that for every collaborator, but it's just been such a beautiful joy to be able to collaborate with artists from all different age groups, backgrounds, regions, identities, cultures, and I've just learned so much. Here is Kashmiri.
Hocus pocus telefantsocus unum batuk lutum deshwas kich kich vamano Brahman zaran point chokum tekis teka panni kyo Pishtu pishtu praryo khut ko van Tor kyo ho wo luth babare pan Pishtu pishtu praryo khut ko van Tor kyo ho wo luth babare pan Sukha mancho kut kotaran Kotar pethi markan Sunchai ginda tarkan Hocus pocus telefantsocus Moho patuk lutum deshwas Kich kich vamano Brahman zaran point chokum Tekis teka panni kyo
Number 39 is Garhwali. Garhwali is spoken by 2.5 million people, but slowly declining and is now considered an endangered language. It's spoken in Uttarakhand primarily. Uttarakhand is divided into the Kumaon region, for the language Kumaoni, and the Garhwal region, where the language Garhwali originates from. And Garhwali has many, many regional dialects as well. The song we chose was Chala Phulari, which is about the beauty of the region, about the flowers, about so many other things. And my collaborator for this was Jeannie. Jeannie is an incredible singer and artist, wise beyond her years, and had a really wonderful time working with her. And if you notice, she actually tied my sari. Kudos to her for knowing how to do it. The sari is tied kind of across the waist as opposed to just over the shoulder like other traditional saris are. And I think it was adapted because of the working conditions in the region and is now considered the traditional wear as well. And we shot and filmed this in Mumbai. You can listen to the song.
Chala phulari phoolon ko sauda sauda phool birala ji saryo ma phool ke holi jholi ladi main ghar chhodya ba ji saryo ma phooli Chala phulari phoolon ko sauda sauda phool birala bhauro ka jhootha phool na todya maryo ka jhootha phool na laya Chala phulari phoolon ko sauda sauda
Song number 40 of this set, last but not least, was Dogri. Dogri is a language spoken in the Jammu region of Jammu and Kashmir by about 2.6 million people. It is one of the 22 official languages of India, and my nani, my ammi is what I used to call her, was actually from Jammu. Her parents passed away when she was very young, so my mom never met her grandparents, and we kind of lost the connection to that region. But someday I would love to visit Jammu as well, and learn more about that family history side. We chose to sing a folk song called Mithe Sone Log Dogre, which just talks about the sweetness and the beauty of the people of Dogra, the region, or the Dogri people. And my collaborator for this was Anuj Rehan, who is a Pataka of a person, a firecracker of a person. He tried to teach me, and every other person on the internet is what he attempts to do, teach me a Dogri tongue twister. I was wearing a traditional folk suit from the region, and yeah, had an absolute blast filming this. So we hope you enjoy the song.
ओए मिठड़ी ए डोगरे दी बोली ते मिठे सोने लोग डोगरे
वे बाजार वगे दिया पखियां
वे बाजार वगे दियां पखियां मुंडे मार दे जम्मू विच अखियां
अखां मस्तानियां
जिवें डोला
भूल जानी
जम्मू कदी आई तेरी मेहरबानी जम्मू कदी आई तेरी मेहरबानी
जम्मू कदी आई तेरी मेहरबानी
ओए मिठड़ी ए डोगरी दी बोली ते मिठे सोने लोग डोगरे
Yeah, 40 songs, 40 languages, lots and lots of learning, lots to be grateful for, and just 10 more left to finish this challenge. But of course, this is not just simply a standalone challenge. There's a lot that we hope to build off of this, because it's been such a learning experience for me, for everybody involved. I'll tell you more about the team involved with this as well, and just learning with a lot of the collaborators. For a lot of the collaborators, they may have ancestral roots from the region, but they may not be natively from the region or have kept up with the music of that space or the language of that space. So I think it was really fun for a lot of the collaborators to tap back into those roots for themselves, and lots of learning all around. So yeah, let me know what your favorite has been from the first 40 songs, and I will see you in the 5th episode to celebrate all 50. Bye.